Chapter 1: Responsibilities and Sacrifices. I've always heard of stories of children who became parents at an early age, young girls forced into marriage for different reasons, and those thrown out on the streets by step parents after becoming orphans. To me, those were just stories that happened to the most unfortunate people on earth. I had no idea that one day I would add to their statistics and manage to come up victorious by trusting in God and working myself through it. I had to leave my comfort zone at an early age because of the responsibilities I had to bear. Sometimes I had to think, as a mother, a big sister, and a father to my siblings as if they were orphans because of the negligence of my father. I had to grow faster than a normal child. At 16, I had to think like a parent. It puzzles me to this day to see a teenage mom who thinks life is fun when you become a parent at an early age. At least, to most of them, it was by choice. They were reaping what they planted. But to me, it was involuntary. I had so many plans to enjoy my childhood, but chances couldn't allow me. At 17, I had to leave school and find a job to support my sick father and the kids of my deceased mother. Many thought I was a natural caretaker because I never wanted my siblings to feel the gap of growing up without a mother. I gave them everything I could and took care of my father, who seemed to have given up in life. All that mattered to him was to have something to drink before going to bed. At that point of time, I would have given anything to make our lives better, but never my dignity. I understand that everything can be redeemed by chance. Anyone could wake up rich in this modern world and sleep at night the same day a poor man. Anyone could say something to impress people and say another to refuse himself on the same sentence. But dignity comes with character. It takes years to build, only to be destroyed in a split second, and can take even longer to rebuild it. It's like a big house with ancient, valuable built-I essentials. It costs a lot to build and much more to renovate. It's like a relationship. It takes few impressive words to convince one another that you are perfect for each other, a few dates to strengthen it up, one act to destroy it, and a lifetime to rebuild it. I consider myself a woman of dignity because I treat myself like one. I conduct myself in a dignified manner, and I have dignified morals as a female individual. It takes an accumulative decision to determine what a metal, an iron, or a piece of gold is worth. Even the stock market is controlled by individuals on desks, but a woman's dignity is self-made, maintained, and preserved. A country can sit and decide who can or should be the president of the country, but no one can decide on which woman is to be considered more valuable without taking into consideration how she withholds herself. Many take prides in having perfect bodies, great skin color, and great looks despite their internal value. Usually, a man who chooses a woman based on her looks ends up leaving her for someone with even better looks. The truth is, if you have beautiful eyes, there will always be someone with better eyes than you do. If you have an indisputably great body, there will be someone with even better body shape willing to give it away to those willing to take it. Those are not assets that make a woman or give her dignity. After some time, looks do change. Beauty fades away with age, no matter what you do. There are procedures to delay it, products to hide it, but nothing can be done to keep it in you. Differently from character that gives a woman dignity, it cannot be used to compare one from the other. If a woman has a good reputation, all her flaws seem to be neglected, her looks are overlooked, and her heart, conduct, and dignity are taken into consideration at all times. Every real man willing to marry a good woman will speak of good qualities, which include beauty. What you don't know is that beauty is mostly hidden within a living being. How many beautiful women have moved from one man to another? I mean, their beauty attracted the man, but their character chased them away. It's simple. Build a good character within you, and you will be praised for being beautiful, even if the appearance doesn't conform. It is even better if you have great appearances and a well-groomed character. You will be considered a woman of dignity. The Bible says, and I quote, "Charm can be deceiving, and beauty fades away, but a woman who fears the Lord deserves to be praised." Proverbs 31:30 KJV. Coming from where I have been, I consider myself one of the most blessed young women on earth. I had nothing to start with, no family, friends, or a partner to tell me that all shall be well with me. I had to rely on God, whom I could not see but could feel that He was making a woman out of a girl. And He succeeded by not giving me what I thought I wanted to have, but making me whom I needed to be in order to have and handle what I wanted to have. Today, I'm an independent woman and have my own standards of living. I never had a chance to cry on a man's shoulder for anything, and yet I lack nothing. I take pride for my achievements, a full responsibility for my shortfalls, and even greater pride for single-handedly raising my siblings who today see me as their role model, provider, senior sister, and advisor. I consider myself a woman of dignity because when life kicked me so hard, I didn't give up. Instead, I took it as an opportunity to work hard and build a testimony. In my mind, I knew that if I won that battle, I would use my story to inspire other young people like you to do better, to learn to be independent and work towards becoming better people despite the challenges we go through. Facing challenges doesn't mean the universe hates you. Most of the time, it is trying to set you aside and grow you the best way it can. Remember, if Jesus was exactly like you and me, without anything to distinguish him from the most kids, we wouldn't be sure that he is the Messiah spoken about in the book of prophet Isaiah. A young woman has conceived and will bear a son whose name will be Emmanuel. Isaiah 7:14. It was what he went through as a child and who he became as an adult that made the world to stand still and believe in God once again. Don't fear being different. Your circumstance will open a new window of opportunities. And confident young lady, if you are willing to sacrifice your fun and become a mentor and a living testimony. Our generation of young people does not invest in hearsays. They want to believe in what they can see. If your testimony is about what could have been, then we will have a generation of it could be or it could have been only if. But if we choose to become those living legendary testimonies, becoming what we want to see in others, then we would be inspiring the youth by simply being who we are instead of what we say. This is mostly seen in great parents who made mistakes in their youth. No matter what great advice they give to their children, they will always ask, why didn't they use the same advice themselves and become better people? It is easy to educate someone on what you can see instead of what you could be or become. It is like telling your child you had at 16 to avoid having sex at a young age to avoid early pregnancy. It is mostly luckily that they won't easily listen to you simply because you couldn't when you had a chance. Quote, if you avoid unwanted mistakes, you will have an insight of what life should be to your children, siblings, and anyone who listens to you by simply being yourself and sharing your experience. By George Robert Z.A.